This woman knows how to motherhood. Hey everyone, welcome back to Lives on Reddit. Don't forget to subscribe to be a for lifer. A Facebook post features a mother and her toddler sitting on a fountain in Rome, Italy. He's starting to be less dependent, but so far he's been pretty relentless and repetitive. A lot of changing diapers and feeding, the same mundane task over and over again. It can be exhausting and depersonalizing. Dad will be staying home and I'm returning to work full time. I'm an emergency room doctor and that's where I think I'm the most useful to the world. It's great to be back. If some people love parenting, that's very lucky. There are certainly moments where it's wonderful, but to believe motherhood is the most important job in the world, you'd have to believe your child is the most important person in the world. She's Italian. We come from a country focused on family. Our fellow citizens will eat her up for saying that. Brave woman. Not really true anymore. Italy has one of the lowest birth rates in Europe, 1.3 and steadily declining, and average age for the first child is 31. The media wants you to believe that Italians still have large extended families where family always comes first, or that women want nothing more than to get married and have many, many babies. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Even less so with my generation. I'm 25, and especially among young educated girls. Source, so am I, but maybe that's a difference in generations, which is why I mentioned my age, or a difference between the North and the South. I am in the North. There's definitely a strong political push towards having more kids. Remember the disaster that was Fertility Day? But it's generally seen with the LOL nope, frick off among my female friends and colleagues. Nobody among my friends would even remotely consider becoming a stay-at-home mom. It's not even a question that's taken seriously. It's so dumb in our eyes. Obviously, economy plays a huge role, but there's also no desire to pop out as many babies as possible and stay home even if it was economically feasible. The more educated, the less kids is especially true in Italy. And no woman I know wants to be a homemaker even if the husband earned enough to support both. There's lots of men I know who would want for the wife to stay at home and raise kids though, which good luck in finding that, or financing it, or honestly even finding somebody that wants to have more than 1 or 2 kids, but definitely not now, maybe later, once both parents are established enough in their career to take parental leave without losing their job. Like I said, media, especially the one owned by Berlusconi, and politics want to push the family baby subservient to husband narrative onto women, but it's completely disjointed from reality, at least where I live. Peer pressure by older people also still exists, but again, it's not taken too seriously by us, just like nobody who is child-free takes bingo seriously. It's annoying, it's sexist, but the best way to fight against it is by proving them wrong. Less children does not mean that we value family less. You cannot imagine how much crap I get for saying I'm child-free. I do not want to know what comments she might get if this lady's friends and family finds out she doesn't think motherhood is everything. I'm from North Italy, I know how things are going. Still, you can't make comments like that, even in the super modern Milan. Child-free still isn't the norm. And yes, you get crap on for saying that you don't want kids. When asked about kids, you have to sigh, make a sad face, and say, maybe later, not now. You know, the economy. And people will nod in understanding. If you say you don't want kids at all, people will still call you selfish, although the movement is becoming stronger. People aren't actively moving away from procreating at all, but it's a lot less and a lot later due to several factors. Not wanting 1 million kids is one of them. Italians have this reputation that they are the grandparents, the parents, and 10 plus kids living in one house because we value family, aka lots and lots of kids above everything else. That image is incorrect. The typical Italian family is grandparents, aunts, and uncles, parents, and then one super spoiled obnoxious brat that simultaneously gets ignored. That's what I'm talking about, and that is what the birth rate reflects. Not that the entire nation has become child-free overnight and everyone is super supportive of the movement. I completely agree with this. Although I cannot get over how even very intelligent people are so surprised by just how depersonalizing, exhausting, and repetitive parenting can be. Did they not see their parents raising their siblings and or other family members, toiling through parenthood, or did they presume that it would be different for them? I guess maybe people feel obligated to fit into the role without really asking themselves why, if they truly want it or not, and if they're actually cut out for it. Yeah, it's kind of surprising how people are shocked that taking care of a new baby isn't fun all the time. Of course it isn't. Babies don't do anything but eat and poop, and as parents, they're responsible for the feeding and the diaper changing, and that's all there is. My sister currently has a 5-year-old and a newborn, and she told me, I don't know what I was thinking going through all this baby stuff again. I could raise 10 kids as long as they're 5 years old first. The new baby thing is only fun for other people, not for the parents in the slightest. People just like the idea of the baby attracting a lot of attention to them. But I mean, you're postpartum. Maybe you have postpartum depression. Your hormones are fricked. You probably haven't had a real meal in days. You just want to be asleep. And then your relatives come over to hold or play with the baby and oohing and eyeing, leaving you to catch up on all that housework you couldn't do the last 2 weeks. That sounds not freaking fun at all, and honestly inconsiderate. If I go to a person's house after they've given birth, it's because I care how they are doing and how everyone is adjusting, and I'll ask them if they need anything done, cleaned, or cooked while I'm there. I'm so glad I'm not the only one who thinks this way. I like kids fine once they're around 5 and can walk and talk and think for themselves. Any child younger than that though, I have a hard time connecting with in any meaningful way. And anytime someone tries to put a baby in my arms, I panic because I'm terrified I'm going to drop them. My friend is the opposite. She loves babies. In her words, when they're at the potato stage. And doesn't understand how I wouldn't be obsessed with them too. And then they become toddlers that need to do the hard work of learning words, what emotions are, and begin to handle them. And the parents need to be there, showing them down on the ground with a puzzle, book, toy with them. I wouldn't take joy in that process because it is repetitive, it is monotonous, it's exhausting. I assume it gets more interesting later on, but by that point it's been bare minimum 5 years. That's just so freaking long. My dad is always like, well, I liked you all once you were 18. A, thanks, Dad. LMAO. B, not wasting 18 years and a ton of money to finally get on with someone who I probably will never see. Luckily, he doesn't care about having grandkids and is happy for me to not have kids. He would have been happy being child-free, I think, although he loves us all and doesn't regret it. Bless him. It amazes me when people think raising kids is the most important job in the world. Ugh. Really, Karen? More important than doctors and rocket scientists? More important than the engineers who design life-saving medical equipment? More important than the air traffic controllers who keep planes from crashing into each other? And then the counterpoint they give is that we are shaping the future. That only counts if you're raising the doctors, rocket scientists, engineers, air traffic controllers, etc. Your kid's going to probably live at home until he's 38 and work part-time at the pretzel place in the mall. So why was that such an important job, Karen? Personally, I could care less about what someone ends up doing for a living. I just wish people who insist on having kids would at least make sure they prioritize doing everything in their power to teach their children decency and basic respect. Instilling kindness and open-mindedness is so much more important than thoughtlessly creating even very intelligent people if they just grow to become more abusers that continue to perpetuate a cycle of destruction and malice from one generation to the next. Honestly, it's sickening to see how many people have kids and then throw them away because it's too much work. Like, what did you expect? To be given roses anytime you did the bare minimum of caring for your child? I know a woman who wasn't supposed to have kids, and god dang do I wish she didn't. She is the most disgusting person I've ever babysat for, and I felt so bad for her kids, and for the record, she had a stepkid who couldn't speak properly at age 7, didn't know numbers past 8 and not in order, and didn't know the alphabet. This mother didn't really work, and when the parents were watching the kids, they did nothing but scream at them. Then had the audacity to tell her stepkid that they were stupid. I quit. I can't watch people destroy their children, especially after the dad, the kid's real father, hit the stepkid in the face. Child Protective Services is informed of all their wrongdoings and hasn't done anything to help these kids. The younger ones are worse off. The youngest still can't walk correctly at 3. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't leave. Subscribe. Be a for lifer. Ooh.